Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money's at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money's at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money's at. I got a quick money update for you today. We're going to talk about it. AMD. I've been talking about AMD a lot, a whole lot. IBM and AMD have joined forces. Check this out. IBM and AMD announced plans to develop next-gen computing architectures based on a combination of quantum computers and high-performance computing known as quantum-centric supercomputing. AMD and IBM are collaborating to develop scalable open-source platforms that could redefine the future of computing, leveraging IBM's leadership in developing the world's most performant quantum computers and software, and AMD's leadership in the high-performance computing and AI accelerators. Now, if you guys been paying attention to the channel, you should have made money because yesterday we did a chart breakdown on AMD, right? And what happened today? See, Wall Street watches the show too. Okay, and they Wall Street comes in. They said AMD stock upgraded to buy.
Hotep, you're a genius. Hotep, you're a genius. Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
AMD earned a fresh buy rating on Tuesday as Wall Street analysts upgraded AMD stock after talking with industry contacts about adoption of the company's chips. Truist Securities analyst William Stein upgraded AMD stock to buy from a hold and raised his price target to $213 from $173. Industry contacts have told Truist over the last month that hyperscale data center customers are working more closely with AMD. They are now expressing true interest in deploying AMD at scale for AI projects, Stein said. In years past, those same customers were only experimenting with AMD's technology and using AMD as a price check to industry leader NVIDIA. Stein reiterated his buy ratings on NVIDIA and custom AI chipmaker Broadcom, while recognizing a positive sentiment shift for AMD. Stein noted that AMD came out of nowhere to challenge Intel in server central processing units, capitalizing on Intel's product stumbles. So Intel, obviously had some stumbles. Big Daddy government had to step in. But let's go ahead and take a look at that AMD chart. Let's look at the AMD chart. If you listen to me, we're going to look at the 5-day. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. If anybody listened to me, you made money. You're up today, sir. You are up today. So we drew lines on the chart yesterday. I gave you the bottom on this, and I gave you the yellow line. The yellow line is the first target, and the green line is the next target. Top end here, we're looking at 170, but this thing could definitely run higher than 170. When we look at today is the 26th, and we look at the 25th, yesterday we ended off right here. What is this? Like 164.10, somewhere in that range was yesterday's close. And today we are up to 166, but this thing came straight out the gate. Let's look at the 1-day chart. This thing roared out the gate, and look how close it came to touching my 170 mark. 170.74. 170.74 was the green mark. That's our top. And look how close it stopped at 169.69 this morning. And it breached my first target. So if you made that call, you put the call options in yesterday, you made the derivatives play yesterday while you were watching the show, you'd have been up 100%. Another way is using fib retracement from IPO to current to see where it's going to stop next. Okay, that's good to know. But yeah, I got my own little, you know what I'm saying, thing that I do, and it's pretty freaking accurate. Maybe dumb question, but how do you know where to put your lines? Good question. Let's talk about it. How do you know where to put your lines? So basically what I do is I find trends, right? So you try to find trends of consolidation. So, for example, you see this little section right here. This is like some sideways moving consolidation. And you try to find where there's a lot of consolidation consistently. So, like right here and here is consolidation. And then this one came down close to that. So I'm like, all right, that's probably the bottom right there, And this is going back to July. And then, but you might have to change the time to find it. So you might have to go to like a 1 hour candles or 15-minute candles. You got to play with the time on it. But I like to zoom out. Sometimes I'll zoom out to year to date and then start from there. And then I'll zoom in to like 3 months, right? And then try to see something. But usually it's usually within like if I take the 3 month and then like if I take the 3 month and switch it to 15 minutes to get more candles and just zoom out a little bit, I can start to find a couple of trends. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 1 month with 15-minute candles zoomed out.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
And then I try to find those trends. So I was looking, I was like, okay, so we have this is like a top here, then there was a gap, and then it did stuff up here, and then it crashed, right? And then I was just trying to find like some trends. And then I'm just looking at it. I'm just eyeballing it. There is no like, they call it support. Yeah, support and resistance areas. There you go. That's the terms I'm supposed to use. Support and resistance areas. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for support and resistance areas. You know what I'm saying? And then I just draw a line straight through and then basically use those as guides to know where it's going to go. And then, a little bit of intuition to know when to get in, when to not, a little bit of the landing bands, to say, hey, should I get on this trade? So if we go to the 1 day, right? We go to the 1 day and let's go to the 5-minute chart, 5-minute candles. Hold on. 1 minute. I'm sorry. Let's go to the 5-minute. Why is it zooming out? All right, here we go. Yeah. So you see how I hit that landing band right here? Like we got a red, right? And then it's closed green. So because it barely touched that second landing band, which is based upon the Bollinger Bands, and then we got a green candle, I'm bullish from there. So you could probably buy this next green candle and should ride up. But this is definitely a bullish trend right here going into tomorrow. It's through almost 245 right now. So this is definitely like a bullish trend right here. Right there. You know what I'm saying? That's going up. It's going up into tomorrow. We'll probably get a nice spike at the end of the day because everybody's making buys and sells at the end of the day. So yeah, this thing should ride out into tomorrow. And of course, we opened with the big green candle. So you could have sold, if you were paying attention at 9:30 and you had the call options yesterday, you're looking at 164, jumped up to like 168, and you could have sold your options and then maybe got back in at a low here. Yeah. So a little bit of landing bands, a little bit of experience, a little bit, detecting support and resistance areas. And then you just draw your lines. And then, you just go from there. You know what I'm saying? Wait for the landing bands to cross, wait for it to cross your resistance areas. If you see that thing bounce off your bottom, off that support, if you see it touch that support and come back up, you might be able to play it up. Not financial advice, do your own research. Not financial advice, do your own research. Not life advice, do your own research. Okay. So AMD is a good play. AMD, if you got the bread, it's probably a go to get like I don't know, some maybe 4-week, 2-week calls. It might be guaranteed money. Not financial advice, do your own research. But if you can get like a month contract, 2-week contract, that should be guaranteed money, 20-30%, maybe more, depending on what kind of news. I'm just waiting for some more news to hit. Then I have to build a bot. I still haven't gotten around to building a bot because I was working on the booster project this weekend, but I'm probably going to build a bot because I want to find news trends and see if we can find a news trend based around some of the AI stocks and then time. What week can we expect the next news trend? With NVIDIA, it's just like it's once a week. It's literally like once a week. But yeah, this is just a couple of things I had in mind there. People over on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Turn on notifications so you know exactly when these things hit, so that you don't leave any bags on the ground. Okay. Big news in the world of big money. This is definitely outside of our piggy banks. You're trying to save up for some QQQ calls? Well, just go into a smaller index that follows the QQQ. That's all you got to do. Go into a cheaper index that follows the QQQ. There's a bunch of ETFs that follow other indexes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. U.S. banks lobby to block stablecoin interest over fears of deposit flight. If you guys were following my CBDC out plan, what's that website? I forget the name of the website where I published it. Maybe I'll publish it. I should probably publish it on X. But I did the research on that and found out that this is one of the huge problems for banks. And it says right here, banks are pushing to change new U.S. stablecoin rules over fears they will spark trillions of dollars worth of outflows, underlining growing competition between Wall Street and the cryptocurrency industry. So I think we can call this new money versus old money. So banks would be old money and crypto big tech is new money. So there's a fight between the old guard and the new guard. Okay, and they both have tremendous amount of influence in their own different ways, depending on whose pocket they're in. Banking lobbies, including American Bankers Association, the Bank Policy Institute, and the Consumer Bankers Association, last week warned lawmakers of a loophole in regulation that will let some crypto exchanges indirectly pay interest on stablecoin holders. The Genius Act, a law Congress passed in July to regulate the $288 billion global stablecoin market, prohibits issuers from paying yield or interest to customers. This means that under the new rules, banks will be allowed to issue their own stablecoins, but cannot pay any interest. However, crypto exchanges will be able to indirectly offer interest and rewards to holders of stablecoins that are issued by third parties such as Circle or Tether. Banks fear this would create an uneven playing field and spark mass deposit outflows away from them if customers choose to earn yield by holding stablecoins at crypto exchanges rather than coins or cash dollars at banks. So basically what's happening is the banks are like, we ain't gonna have no money left. If I'm holding their dollars and I can't pay them on a stablecoin, a yield, they're going to just take their money and give it to the crypto bros and let the crypto bros pay them a yield. So this is unfair if the banks can't do it, but the crypto bros can. So they're fighting. This might be in the so the Genius Act passed, and I think it's the other one's called. I think it's called the Stablecoin Bill or something like that. The Stable Bill. So yeah, banks crying. Yeah, banks are crying. So we keep an eye on that. The reason why I want to keep an eye on that is because you got to be careful. Your bank might go insolvent one day. They might send you a letter and be like, hey, you might want to get your deposits out of here. So make sure you're opening your emails and your mail from your bank because they might go out of business, okay, depending on who you're doing business with. If you're doing business with Chase, you ain't got to worry about that. But I heard Chase customers cry a lot about Chase. Chase be doing all that bullshit sometimes, But yeah, you gotta stay aware of these things because that's another way to earn money is take some of your cash and you store it in the stable coins. Although I don't know how safe that is because there's a small possibility, large possibility. There's a possibility that the stable coin depegs and then there's no solvency and then now you lose your money. I don't know. So it's like, everything's about weighing risk, So you want to keep your money in different places. Keep your money decentralized. That's the key. Keep your money decentralized. Never put all your, what does it say? Never put all your pigs in one blanket or something like that. Yeah. Never put all your pigs in one blanket. Okay. That's what you want to be sure of. All right. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says Warren Buffett and top CEOs say college degree doesn't matter. Here's what really counts in hiring. So Warren Buffett here says He's made it clear in his annual shareholder letters and public statements that he never considers where a candidate has gone to school when selecting CEOs for Berkshire Hathaway companies. Buffett believes raw business talent and character outweigh academic pedigree. Raw business talent and character. Regardless of whether someone attended a prestigious institution or chose an unconventional educational path. Buffett cites leaders like Pete Legal, former CEO of Forest River, who managed significant growth without Ivy League credentials, Bill Gates, who dropped out of Harvard, Ben Roser, whose formal education ended in the 6th grade, as prime examples of how innate ability and operational excellence matters far more than credentials. And this is, the argument that I've made in favor of homeschooling my kids. I'm like, the school is, it's whatever, right? They're going to learn math, they're going to learn science and all this other nonsense. But I'm like, you know what really matters in this world? Discipline, marketable skills. You have skills and you have marketable skills. And character, like what type of character you have. Like these are the things we got to focus on when we build children. Character, marketable skills, you know what I'm saying? And just general know-how, right? Like you gotta get in there, right? So, with the young boy, he sat in a meeting today. You know what I'm saying? So my son watched and helped, right? The creation of this company. He watched us create the company, right? With the Google form, all the way through to the meeting, watched me close the deal without even trying. The client was like, yo, I'm impressed. You got to go, which lets him know, like, this is why it's important to stay on top of the trends, stay on top of the news, know what's going on in your world, because that general knowledge in your field is what's going to impress clients because they can trust you. They go, okay, this guy, he knows his stuff, right? So he's able to see that from beginning to close, right? And this is what really matters, right? So when you see a kid and he starts earning thousands of dollars at the age of 16, college? No, he's going to hire college kids. They're going to work for him. Huh? College kids are going to work for my son. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the goal. Like go to college? No, like you want to hire college kids. They're good workers. These guys are great workers. That's what they are. That they have shown that they can sit down in one place and meet deadlines. That's what they've been, and that's what we need. We need somebody to come in there, pump out the work, be willing to take some work home, aka homework, and deliver on time. That's what we need. Okay, so we're gonna hire college kids, and if they want to go to college, they can pay for it themselves. And then that way, it's like the pressure's off. It's not like, oh, I got to go to college and get all A's. It's like, no, go take 2 classes, take 1 class, take 4. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're in college, and you're the one buying all the beer. You're the one, you know what I'm saying, buying the girls beer. And then you don't got to sell drugs on campus. Not life advice, do your own research. Not life advice, do your own research. Shout out to King J for the clips. If you're over on YouTube, please hit the notification bell button and subscribe.
This product does not boost your testosterone. Boosting your testosterone is unhealthy. What this product does is it balances your hormone levels and frees up a natural testosterone production. That way you can get back to what you really want to do, which is hit the gyms.